Hey everyone, welcome. So today we're jumping right into how to architect generative AI solutions on AWS. Look, if you're a developer and architect, you already know this whole space is just exploding with new tools, right? It's a lot. So our goal here is to cut right through all that noise and give you a super clear map to get you building. And it is so easy to feel lost. I mean, there's a constant stream of new services, new patterns, all these three-letter acronyms. It really can feel like you're hacking your way through a super dense jungle and you don't even have a guide. So the big question is, where do you even begin? Well, think of this right here as your map and your compass. We are going to chart out all the key landmarks, showing the main pathways, and really just give you the confidence you need to start building some seriously powerful GenAI solutions on AWS. Okay, first things first. Every good builder needs a solid toolbox, right? So let's crack open the AWS GenAI toolbox and take a look at the two most fundamental, most important services that you're going to be working with.
So, your first big choice is about your foundation. It really comes down to two options. On one side, you've got Amazon Bedrock. The best way to think about Bedrock is like it's the express lane. It's the fastest way to get access to all these incredible pre-trained models from the big players, all through one simple API. Then on the other side, you've got Amazon SageMaker. Now, SageMaker is for the experts who want total control. I mean, building, training, and deploying their own custom models from the ground up. So to put it really simply, Bedrock is for using models and SageMaker is for building them. That's the key difference.
But, having a powerful model is kind of useless if you can't connect it to the real world. And that's exactly where these glue services come into play. You've got AWS Lambda, which is what actually runs your code and orchestrates everything. You have Amazon API Gateway, which acts like a secure front door for your application. And then you have event services to trigger workflows and connect all the different pieces. This is the critical plumbing that takes a cool AI experiment and turns it into a real, actual functioning product. All right, so we've got our tools. We know about Bedrock and SageMaker and the glue that holds it all together. Now let's look at some blueprints. And what I mean by blueprints are these tried and true architectural patterns for the most common projects people are building right now. And wow, the use cases are all over the map. You've got your chatbots, content summarizers, even code assistants. But I want you to pay really close attention to that last one on the list, Retrieval Augmented Generation, or you'll hear it called RAG. This is a total game changer. So what the heck is RAG? Well, it's this incredibly powerful pattern that lets you ground a model's answers in your own private, up-to-date information. So instead of the model just pulling from its general kind of generic training data, it first goes and retrieves relevant facts from, say, your documents in S3 or data in your own databases. This is huge because it's how you can take a generic model and turn it into a world-class expert on your specific business. Okay, theory is great and all, but let's make this stuff real. We're going to walk through the actual blueprint for one of the most common things people build first, a simple chatbot. So let's just trace a single message from a user, step by step. First, that user's request hits our secure front door, which is API Gateway. Boom. That immediately triggers a Lambda function where all our business logic lives. That Lambda function then turns around and calls the Amazon Bedrock API, passing along the user's prompt. Bedrock does its thing, works its magic, generates a response, and shoots it right back to our Lambda function. And finally, Lambda relays that answer all the way back to the user. It's simple, it's totally serverless, and it is just incredibly powerful. But look, just building the app, that's only step one. As an architect, you have to manage two really critical levers here. First step is security. This means using IAM roles and policies to lock things down with what we call the principle of least privilege. Basically, if your Lambda function only needs to talk to Bedrock, then that is the only permission it should ever have, period. Then there's cost. This is all about model selection. You do not need a giant, super expensive model for a simple task. Picking the right tool for the job, like a smaller, faster model for a simple summarization, that is the absolute key to keeping your build from getting out of control. Okay, so you've seen the map, you've seen the blueprints. The big question is, now what? Where do you actually start? I'm going to give you 3 super clear, actionable starting points for you and your team to get going like today. All right, number 1, just go into the AWS console and open up Amazon Bedrock. Seriously, there's a playground in there. Just start playing around. See how different models respond to the exact same prompt. Getting your hands dirty like that, it's the absolute fastest way to build your intuition for what these things can actually do. Okay, number 2, build something. Take that exact chatbot blueprint we just walked through and actually build it. Just a simple proof of concept. I promise this will completely solidify your understanding of how these core services, API Gateway, Lambda, and Bedrock, all fit together in a real app. And finally, number 3. This one is the big one. This is where you create unique, game-changing value. Start thinking about your company's data. I'm talking about your internal knowledge bases, your product documentation, all those customer support tickets. Find a really high-value data set and just start brainstorming how a RAG pattern could turn a generic AI into a true, invaluable expert for your business. So there you have it. You've got the map, you've got the toolbox, and you've got the blueprints. You get the core difference between Bedrock and SageMaker. You've seen patterns for chatbots and the powerful RAG approach, and now you have 3 concrete steps to get started. Look, that AWS generative AI jungle, it's still vast, for sure, but it's not uncharted territory for you anymore. You have the map. So the only question left is, what are you going to build first?